How many troops have you
Yes,
lost?
we have significant losses of troops, and it's a huge tragedy for us.
Okay, so that is Dmitry Peskov, a top spokesman for Vladimir Putin, admitting there in an interview with a reporter for Sky News that Russia has lost a lot of troops, thousands of them. But what you might not see going around is a section that unfortunately is so scattered and disparate that we can't show you the video, but the reporter there starts to go through a particular interaction between armored vehicles on the Russian side and a Ukrainian civilian live in that conversation with Dmitry Peskov. We're gonna show you a screenshot right now of what it looked like. They used surveillance footage and geolocation and satellite imagery to show you the path of a Ukrainian woman riding a bicycle going down a road. Then they identify those armored vehicles. They show the armored vehicles shooting. They show a plume of debris at the last known spot of the Ukrainian woman. And then they show the actual video footage of people touring the devastation, the massacre there, and showing the woman dead at her bicycle. And Dmitry Peskov says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to be more specific. How do you know that those are our ATVs? How do you know that they fired even though we're watching the footage live? So they have been denying the massacres, denying the intentional murder of civilians. And even when a frame by frame breakdown of the murder of an innocent woman is pushed into their face, of course, Viviana, they still have to pretend that they had nothing to do with it. And he says, we deny that Russian military could have something in common with these atrocities and with the bodies shown in Bucha, even though it's being mapped out, indisputable, undeniable proof.
It's horrific, John. It's horrific. And we've seen these tactics used before by other countries and by Russia themselves. And so it's not surprising, although it never gets easier to digest. It's horrible to see, horrible to think about. My heart really goes to everybody that is suffering, that is attached. I mean, people who have family there who don't even know if they're gonna see their family again, if they're gonna be alive tomorrow. The children, I mean, it's been just incessant, and the lies don't stop. Oh, we're pulling back our troops. Oh, we're not doing anything. Oh, well then who is this? What is going on then? Really? We're supposed to believe this? I mean, the gaslighting is unbelievable.
Yeah, and unfortunately there have been way too many people. Like, look, the fact that a spokesman for Vladimir Putin is, running cover for them, lying, talking about false flags and all that, that's not gonna surprise anyone. But there were a lot of people in the wake of Bucha who weren't content to just say, hey, let's give it a little bit of time. Let's make sure that enough independent journalists have had time to look into this, because there's misinformation on all sides and battles. No, they weren't satisfied with that. It was, this looks really bad for Russia, so I don't believe that could possibly be true. And look, it's been days now. We know even more about what happened in Bucha, not just the intentional killing of civilians, but the executions, like they were, their hands tied behind their backs, killed in the hundreds. And now we're finding out that there are other cities that the Russians have been pushed out of where there were worse massacres than in Bucha. That was unfortunately just a disgusting, horrific taste of what's apparently being done. And in that interview, and I couldn't stop watching Peskov being questioned there, he talked about the Russian forces moving out of places like near Kyiv and saying, like, this is a good faith measure. This is us engaging with diplomacy, as he denies the intentional continued murder of civilians. He wants the reporter for Sky News and by proxy the audience to give them credit for being humanitarians.
Well, we know that the Russian government doesn't allow you to speak the truth and will control the information that you disseminate. So I don't know what sort of knife is at the back of Peskov, but if he has any conscience at all, he's not sleeping at night, that's for sure.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.